The start of this episode needs some pizzazz. So if you just need a laugh in your life right now, maybe me like saying that will give you a laugh. Before we get to this episode, I would really love for you to know what your human design energy type is so that you can follow along with what we're talking about, whether it's an episode with a guest or it's the Fearless Shorts. You're going to go to my website, www.thefearlessprojectltd.com. You're going to input some information and it's going to spit out something that looks a little weird. Yeah, that is called a human design body graph. It's going to tell you 3 important things that today I hope that you go forth into the rest of life, understanding what energy type means, strategy, and authority. And if not, just keep listening to the podcast. I can't wait for you to see what we talk about, what I talk about, and maybe get a laugh or two. So without further ado, we're in the heart of Mercury retrograde, folks, and let's see if this recording lasts. Hey, friends, we are fearless. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Frances Young, and we are here on a Fearless Short. And I'm going to tell you a personal story that is exciting and just makes me that much more in awe of my own life, where I am in existence of who Frances is in this soul having a human experience. You're never going to have your life mapped out. Even if you know exactly what you desire, that's fucking fantastic. You can write it out and you manifest specifically according to your human design. That's the thing. But you're still never actually going to have it mapped out. My personal story fully shares and shows that today. We're going to go back to when Fran was 13. Hey, Fran. Hey. I don't know if my voice was higher then. Who knows? But when I was 13 years old, I went to my very first summer school to go to the Quinte Ballet School of Canada. As some of you may know, if you've listened to a few different podcasts, or definitely my first one, I mentioned that I went to a professional ballet school in high school. Basically, just picture boarding school where you get sent off and it's for little girls, little boys, whoever really wants to become a professional ballet dancer, or you just realize at some point you want to be a professional dancer. You need some kick-ass training. You go to a professional ballet school. You get sent away because you want to go, and you live in someone else's home unless your family moves with you. That's the kind of like billet boarding moment. And I went to a public high school and I walked about 200 feet and stepped into a professional ballet school. So, 13. It's in the middle of the summer. The way in which little girls and little boys get into a professional ballet school is you audition. And an audition process is an actual day and time. You do the thing. And then a lot of the time you will go to a summer intensive. Because going to dance school full time when you're 13, let alone kids go when they're 7 sometimes, is a lot. You get thrown into, this is what your full school year is going to be like. You dance from roughly 9 a.m. to, depending on the day, like 5 p.m. So you're dancing for 6 hours, 5 days a week, and you get a little flavor. You get a little taste. When I was 13, I met 3 very important people. I learned how to do flamenco dancing in a ballet school. How fucking exciting is that? I've done a lot of different dance styles. Just so we can list them off, this 1-3 profile has tried a lot. I started out with Scottish Highland dancing, then turned ballet, then turned all of the things I could do at my rec ballet school. A little bit of Irish step dancing. I actually started flamenco then. Okay, I did. But then fast forward, we're 13. We've auditioned for the Quinte Ballet School of Canada. We really want to fucking go. I want to become a professional ballerina. And then I meet Valerie and Roger Skinnera and their daughter, Angelica. Little did I know that they would be 3 of the most important people in my entire life to my dance career as a whole when we're getting into later years of life. I met them when I was 13 and I thought they were cool. I just legitimately thought they were cool. To tie in all the astrology as I talk about myself and this story and human design, my 3rd house of early life, of childhood education, communication, also where happens is that I have my IC, which is early child achievement, let's call it that, where you start. That is in the house of Virgo. Funny that it's a Virgo moon currently as I record this. My Jupiter is right next to it. So my early childhood experience of the things I got good at were super important and expanded for myself quite quickly. Me meeting Valerie, Roger, and Angelica was a very important moment. Fast forward to almost the end of university. So by this point, I was 20. I think. I don't think I was 21 yet. Time is time. I was having a hard time deciding where I wanted to live because I didn't want to stay in Winnipeg. Something in my body was like, you need to get out of Winnipeg. My brain was giving me other things. Something I know now in my body was being like, Fran, you got to get out of here. And I don't remember how I reached out to Valerie and Roger. But in September of 2014, in the midst of working with NAFRO, which is an African contemporary company based out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, post graduating from the School of Contemporary Dancers. There you go, full circle. 3rd moment of intense dance training in my life. I went to University for Dance. That's a thing, folks, if you don't know that. So I have a piece of paper for dancing all day. It's pretty fucking cool. If anybody wants information on that, just hit me somewhere. And I went to Toronto, where I'm currently recording this in fall of 2014. And I had a week off in this dance project. And I'm from Ontario. I reconnected with Valerie and Roger and Angelica, I think as well, during that time. I danced with them that week. I was telling them, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to move back to Toronto in the fall. Then they were like, hey, come dance with us and let's have you perform in a show in March and April of 2015. Like, we've got this show lined up. Let's have you along for the road. Mind you, I hadn't done flamenco since I was 18 at that point. I think I'd had time off from it for close to 4 years. Dancers are versatile. I was really pumped about picking it back up and adding in all of this other experience. Then I remember I got a message from them as I'm about to go on stage back in Winnipeg performing the show I'd been working on with NAFRO. And it's from Valerie. And she says, Fran, we've lost the funding for the project that we want to do in March, April of 2015. That was the worst time to read that message. I was about to go on stage. Stage is Fran's fucking happy place. As a generator, I was gutted. I was put into full frustration mode, but essentially it was just disappointment in that moment. I was so fucking sad. The performance was fine though. The performance was beautiful. That was such a soul crushing moment. At that point in life, I didn't really understand a concept in which I deeply believe in now. I don't even think I'd heard of it yet. Wasn't ready for it. In that there is no bad timing. There is no right or wrong timing of when you meet someone or when something doesn't happen. That was supposed to happen. For sure it was. I was really gutted. When I moved to Toronto, I put dance down for 10 years. That's a mic drop. And Valerie and Roger didn't gut me. Guys, if you listen to this, I'm recording this on purpose and I love you guys so much. So, Fran, crushed, moves to Toronto, begins working as a personal trainer immediately. And then the next 10 years of my life go by. The next level of experience of movement and fitness and just the ways in which I fucking love living life and getting strong and all of those things I've already known about myself of needing to move every day as being a dancer and feeling strong in my body. I just channeled it into lifting barbells. And then last fall, I went to Ibiza. So I'm soon going to be coming up on a year on that. Ibiza is the birthplace of human design. My obsession is a little bit... the only word that is coming to my brain, but it's not the right word, is I am a narcissist to human design. I want to be wrapped in it and everyone to be wrapped around me. That is the weirdest analogy I've ever made. It is Mercury retrograde. Anyways, I went to Ibiza. And before I got there, though, I feel like probably the only thing I needed to go do on that trip was to go to Barcelona, because that's where I flew into. And we're probably 2 hours in. I get downtown. I'm trying to find my Airbnb and my friend that I was meeting in Barcelona. I come across a poster wherever on the street. And it's a poster of a flamenco show. I haven't thought about flamenco in a little while. Not 10 years, though. I don't know. Hadn't crossed my mind in a hot sec. There was something that I was responding to as a generator. Immediately, my energy was like, holy fuck, I'm in Spain. This is a life goal for sure that I've had at some point, that I knew I wanted to see flamenco dancing in Spain. Here I am in this moment, and I hadn't even pre-planned that. Whoa. So that night, I get all dressed up. I go to a flamenco show solo. Who the fuck cares? I start crying. I'm having a whole moment with myself. The seating of where I sat actually wasn't that great. So maybe that was good that I was alone. The whole point of explaining that piece was then when I got back, I immediately emailed Valerie. And I haven't spoken to Valerie since the message in which she let me know that, hey, Fran, like, we can't do this show. There have been many times where throughout my time of living in Toronto, I'd thought about messaging Valerie. But there was that little ego of something inside me that was like, oh, that'll never work out again. Oh, the timing wasn't right. Or, insert any amount of self-degrading thought. And did it anyways. Aries moon. Fuck it. Generator. I really need to do some flamenco. Otherwise, something's wrong. That's all my insides are telling me. And so I get an email back from Valerie in probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, not that long. I should look on the time on the actual email. Valerie is ecstatic. I can tell she's already so excited. Then the rest is history. Now, where it gets even cooler than this moment to explain this concept of that no timing is bad. Today, I got to be what is called Angelica's Daily Surprise. It is a TV show for a small network that is created here in Toronto. If anybody watches the video, Ontario Daytime TV. You can find it on the internet. It's fucking hilarious. Angelica is an amazing flamenco dancer. Holy shit. Just It's incredible. She's a comedian. She does so many things. And then she also has this TV show in which she does random cool things on it. She surprises her viewers with, let's make the perfect latte, then let's have pole dancing, then let's do this. You know, it's really fucking cool. She also has workouts on this. She asked me, hey, Fran, you want to do some workouts on my show? This wouldn't have been able to happen if there was a moment when I was 13 where I met them. Then there was a moment where we had to, you know, what looked like go off course from being a dancer and turn personal trainer and get into fitness and have a career in fitness to be known as a personal trainer, manual therapist, and all the things that I do to help someone feel fearless, at least in their physical body, and all the other things I do now, to then be invited on Angelica's Daily Surprise and all the things that I've done to feel confident being filmed. 1, being on stage. 2, filming ridiculous content for my social media. 3, being on a podcast and filming it myself to feel confident just saying random shit by myself. All of a sudden, I'm realizing that there's no bad timing. How could I have pre-figured out how that was fucking gonna happen? I don't know. Someone please tell me how I could have strategized that better to manifest that coolness in my life. Life doesn't get much cooler than that. On the timing of full circle moments. Now I'm going to be performing with Angelica. Who knows where Angelica's Daily Surprise is going to go? I'm totally going to talk about human design on it and astrology, just so y'all are ready for that. But the beautifulness of the ways in which our life takes turns, even when it doesn't look like it's taking a turn for the better, it's taking its turn where it's supposed to take you. I'd like to leave you with a reframe as to how to look at yourself with a little more fearlessness. Once upon a time, I did a meditation. This was a few years ago. Coming out of this meditation, something was very clear from my body. My body told me to fear itself less. You do not have to be afraid of the intuition that your body is speaking to you. You can fear yourself less. You can love yourself more. And I promise you that life is going to show you the rest.